We're here with Judge Mike Meares, candidate for Circuit Court Judge in Blount County, and I'd like to thank you for taking time to talk with us today.
Thank you.
When Governor Bredesen appointed you to the bench, how did that process work exactly?
The selection process to become judge is set out by statute. There's a judicial selection commission that reviews written applications. They post that a position is available. In this case, Judge Thomas went to the Court of Appeals, and there was a posting that the position of circuit judge for Blount County for the 5th Judicial District would be available. And a lot of lawyers applied, and then the application is rather lengthy, and you go into your personal and professional background at great length, and then the commission reviews that, has public hearings, and an interview, a private interview process with each candidate, and they nominate, in this case nominated 3 of us as qualified to serve as circuit judge, and then I was selected by the governor out of those 3 qualified candidates.
And in terms of that experience, how many criminal cases have you tried from both sides of the bench?
I don't know the exact number of criminal cases that I tried. At one time, many years ago, I did serve as a public defender for this district, and you remember the more serious cases that you've tried. I tried 3 cases where my client was charged with first-degree murder. Of course, tried aggravated assault and burglary and drug cases, the same types of cases that I hear now as judge, from the side of being the judge on the bench rather than the lawyer pleading the case. I think that one of the things that's maybe missed on experience that I've had over the years that's important now that I'm on the bench is hearing what's called post-conviction relief cases. Those cases in which defendants claim that their constitutional rights were violated in the process of their trial, and reviewing those cases and participating in those cases really lets you know some places where the pitfalls are for the judge and the lawyers that are hearing the case the first time. And having that experience, I think, is invaluable. I think having tried the big first-degree murder cases is also an invaluable experience in serving as judge, because you know what the lawyers are going through, what they've gone through in preparing their case for trial.
What are some of the challenges a circuit court judge faces in trying cases or administering the court?
Well, there are a lot of challenges, and it is very serious business, and it seems that the decisions begin to weigh on you. You want to do the right thing every time, of course, and you want to follow the law to the letter. And so there's some study involved. But rather than looking at the challenge, I'd like to say that it's a wonderful process to be involved in as circuit judge, as the trial court judge, convening jury trials. It really is sort of the Constitution come to life, to see private citizens come in as a group from different walks of life, different occupations, different ages, entirely different experiences and viewpoints, and have those citizens come together and through the process serve as the government for that day and that case that they hear as a jury. It really is a unique and remarkable honor to serve in the capacity of the judge facilitating that constitutional process at work. It's not really a challenge. I guess that's the blessing of the job, because you get to see how wonderful and unique our legal system is and how well it works. I'm a real believer in the Constitution and the jury system, and even though it's cumbersome and administratively probably more difficult than just having one judge decide cases, it certainly is a wonderful process and a valuable one for our country.
And In simple terms that us regular folks can understand, what do you want voters to know about the hearings on the local rules and case dispositions and your recent finding of fact and order?
I'd say in simple terms, and it is a little bit esoteric, but in simple terms is the court was presented with some problems that needed to be fixed and addressed during the vacancy in office between the time that Judge Thomas went to the Court of Appeals and I was selected to serve as judge. There was a change in our local rules, and part of that change, the ruling that I made, is found invalid, that it gave the other judge more power in the assignment and the selective assignment of cases than the law would allow. That was a problem that needed to be fixed, and I fixed it by getting to the bottom of the facts and making a ruling according to the law as you would do in any other case. It just so happened that was an administrative type of problem. Anytime that a court issues an order, you want that order to be accurate. You want it to certainly to be lawful. Because of the volume of cases that are handled in court, and because of the nature of humans, sometimes they make mistakes and have to go back and correct things that we've done so that they are in compliance with the law and are fair to people and are accurate in exactly what they say. That's the process that we were going through. We go through that process really more frequently than we'd like. We find that we make mistakes in the orders that we issue, small mistakes generally speaking, but mistakes that nonetheless need to be corrected. It's not a process any different than you would confront in any business or other public endeavor. The question is, when you're confronted with something that's wrong, what do you do about it? And for me, it seemed like the only thing to do was to confront the mistakes in the order, in our local rules, and confront them in an open fashion and fix them to the extent that was possible, and that's exactly what I did.
Why won't your campaign accept donations from lawyers?
It's perfectly legal for judges to accept campaign donations from lawyers. But for me, it seemed like a better idea not to do it for a couple of reasons. First, what it tells the public is that there's not even going to be an appearance of favoritism by this judge of any lawyer. And then on a personal level, what it tells you as judge is, well, you're not going to have to worry about pushing that factor or that fact out of your mind. That is, what lawyers supported you in your campaign financially when you're making decisions. It just seems like a better idea not to have anything that would even appear to influence the judge improperly. Judges are required by law to be independent, to be impartial, and that certainly applies to your impartiality and your independence from other public officials, but also from lawyers. Obviously, lawyers are a big part of the judicial system, and cases need to be decided based upon the law and not the lawyers involved.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to say to the voters of Blount County?
I'd like to encourage every single individual to vote. This is an important election. People lose track of the fact of how their local political environment may have a great impact on their life. And in this particular race for judge, you have an essential issue of, do we want a judiciary independent of political influence? And certainly a vote for me would indicate that is what the public wants, and it's certainly what this community needs, and I'd ask you to support me and vote for me, and get your neighbors to vote, and don't sit back and think that the process will take care of itself. People need to be involved, and I'd ask you to be involved and make the decisions that will be the best for our community in the years to come.
Great. Thank you very much. We appreciate you talking with us.
Thank you so much.